Okay, we are going to be building something very fast. This is going to be a very fast build for y'all. That's going to be super powerful, but it is a glass cannon. Well, more like a driftwood cannon because there's no glass in it, but it's very effective and I think you guys will appreciate it. Especially if you want to build a spammer in no time at all. So we're going to go ahead and work on it while we wait for the next round. The only thing this hinges on heavily is going to be a gyroscope. So if you don't have a gyroscope, don't fret. There are people on the game that I'm sure would be more than happy to lend a gyroscope. You just gotta ask around if you don't have one. You will unlock it at level 100, I think. But again, that's the only crucial part to this build that you're gonna need. Otherwise, you should be good to go. So we got our gyroscope. I usually stick it on the back of the boat into it like this. So here we go. Let's look at it. So we have the water line's going to be sitting right here. And this is going to be underwater, so it's harder to hit it. Now all we're going to do is we're just going to get our spice plank again, and we're just going to compress this a whole bunch of times. Once you get over 30 pieces of wood in here, you're good. Am I keeping track? No. Just spam it a good amount of times, and I'd say that's probably decent. You know, that would probably work. So all we're going to do now is we're just going to get a seat. And interesting trick actually with this, since it's in the middle, that I found is you just set the seat like right here. So if I walk away so we can get that sign out of the way. So you see that the back of the chair is actually sitting right along the the great part of the very top of the chair is sitting right at the plank height, I guess. We'll call it the plank height. If I set another chair right next to it, what's really interesting is that it actually ends up being in the middle, which you wouldn't think it would be centered off of doing that, but it actually ends up in the middle. So now that it's in the middle like that, that's basically the boat complete, so we can just stick a weapon on there now. I'm going to use cannon barrel, but you can also use the other method too. I saw somebody who used the other method of using the other cannon. Let me just back up a little bit. There we go. And now we're just going to stick a nice thing of truss or a block of your choice and load up a whole bunch of cannons into there until it doesn't let me do it anymore. There we go. Maxed it out. And we're done. That's literally it. That's the boat. It's not much to look at, but it's very annoying to deal with. And I guess if you wanted to make some modifications to it, here's a little mod that I like to do. So you get these triangle wedges and you just stick them on the back like this. And you'll see why in a minute, but these things have a natural tendency to oversteer big time. So here we are in basically a cannon. But you see that our stamina isn't going down. That's because our head's above the water. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and take this thing out for a spin. Definitely keep your sword out, because again, there's no protection on this at all. Also, another thing too is that if you get too close to people, the thing, it tends to get wild if you ram into people. As soon as it hits people, the gyroscope has a heart attack and tries to go nuts on you. But it's really not a bad design. It's very easy to make. You literally just compress wood, compress a cannon, and then stick a gyro on it, and you're good to go. And because you're underwater, it's really hard to hit you. But it's not a foolproof design, unfortunately. There are ways to counter this. Yeah, see, I'm already getting shot at because, again, my head is sticking out of the water. And also, if they aim under the water, they can hit underneath that plank, which is super, super easy to hit people. underneath, because, again, no protection, but you run this in a pack, and let me tell you something, a whole bunch of these things coming at you, it's brutal. It really is. Now, look at this. This guy has a nice build. I approve of this wholeheartedly. Very nice build. U-boat indeed. Very nice. Well, anyways, that's basically this video. You don't even need these, but again, the thing really likes to oversteer, so highly recommended that you stick a little thing of rudders underneath. But yeah, it's a very effective design, I'd say. It's not the cheapest thing in the world, but it's definitely easy, so. Anyways, I hope this helps.